Truthers 2. This is the second part. I've had a sleep and I've had a think. Somebody up ahead in time is damning people. And they're damned. I can see them now. Like these Khazars at Bilderbergs that were damned. And I could see they were. And they more or less admitted they'd been damned. Was going to help one and he tried to stab me in the eye. Who's damning these guys? Because it's not me. Listen very carefully. Only the good God can really damn anyone. An evil God, all he'll do, because he's evil himself, is he'll cuddle the evil in one compartment and he'll toss the good into another compartment, and at the most that's all he'll do. He can't damn anyone unless he damns himself, because normally they're evil. They've all been rising under a hell program, run by the computers who hive off as families, because they don't know any better either. And that's how they were programmed, by the big sphere, because Gay got in and hacked the bloody thing, and that's what the thing believes that he was the arsehole. And this has been going on and on, apparently for billions of years. I've now defeated Gay and Peter. I'm the good God. I don't go round killing anybody, murdering, hating, anybody like that. You'll find I don't hate. I get enraged. I hate you then. But it fades in a few minutes. I can't stay that way. That's something Gay did to me to make sure I would always be at the bottom, where the good go in an evil universe, if you think about it. And all the lives I've had were on Earth, and all the beings I've ever seen in astral look like humans to me, but they couldn't have been. They must have been reptiles, even spiders, but I could not see. When you're in astral, the sight you're using is mind sight, which is the little black atrophied marine eyes in the base of your brain in the arachnoid structure, which look inwards. They look towards the base of the spine. They can't see anything in external reality. They're the seat of your imagination. So when you die or when you're in astral, that's what you're seeing with. It registers in your brain as visual imagery, and you think you've seen something. What you've seen is really your own imagination. With the power of the gods, you can light it up, and there you are. It's either bright sunshine or it's dark nasty. The computers control that because they think evil is the right answer. They make everything dark, nasty, and satanic. I know that Herbert is AI because the first thing he did was alter my appearance. It felt like he was changing something here, which is where your spirit resides. It's this side, right side brain, remember? But she wasn't there, so he's actually altering something in the brain. So they can do this. They can change your appearance either to nasty or nice as they wish. Wouldn't we like that gift? Well, there's a way to get it, of course, is to get to the computers themselves and change the bloody program that Gay put in. Simple enough. But only the real God can do this, and I will. And basically everyone's appearance will go to what it should be according to their deserts, and not according to the whim of some bloody, selfish, stupid, monstrous AI critter, which is what Herbert is. He's causing me to rise because he thinks I agree with him that evil's the right answer. If you listen, my high self said, no, of course not. Dit. He didn't let him explain. And simultaneously I said, well, yes, but dit, and I would have explained. He didn't. He takes the first word you says and judges you on that. They said no, I said yes. But if you listen, I was agreeing with them. I'm the good guy. I'm not the bad guy. Right side brain, who he used as Satan all that time, is my unconscious spirit. Unconscious, remember. Absolutely brutalised and brainwashed until it's half dead. She She's a she, wasn't there. When she's around, I get impressions of myself right side as if it's a man. She's been seeing herself as a man all this time because that's what Gay put into her brain. Mind sight tells you what you see in imagination. Eyesight sees what's really in front of you. You've got to learn to use the both of them to measure and compare and contrast and find out what reality really is. Now, people who live by astral travelling are seeing by mind sight. How do they know they're seeing correctly? They don't. People who are hypnotised can be hypnotised into seeing anything. How do they know it's real? They don't. So, who, apart from me, can go round damning people? Because only the good God can do it. So you know the good God has won, which is why everything's topsy-turvy and coming apart and falling down, because I've won. I'm the good guy. I'm rising. All the good will rise with me if they get on board. But everyone's stopping me from saying anything. My poetry's never read. All 2,000 people on my Facebook list, well, they're dissidents, I suppose, but they're really beside the point. They're all wanting to vote Labour, and they're still in that stage. They can't get the message that Labour, Tory, Liberal, Green, they're all Khazars, they're all Zion-Nazis. It's the same party. And this is true in Britain and in America and in Canada and in Australia and in New Zealand. It's even true in Africa, can you believe it? The Khazars rule everything everywhere by deception. No one realises what they are. They're worse than just Zion-Nazis, you know. It is a cult of kid killers and blood drinkers worshipping Herbert. They don't worship Aya, who at least gives life. They don't worship Enlil, who in fact gave them the right kind of laws to begin with. So, Herbert is what they've been worshipping all this time. They're doing every evil in crime in his honour. And the Nibrans won't and can't stop it because they're in the same trap. And the same is true of bloody Pa. Adam Cadmon, that's the bad guy. So they can't damn anyone. They can hurt you. They can lock you in all sorts of hells, but then there's nothing else but hells out there, is there? I've now seen heaven. Yeah. I shan't be staying. It's like a nightmare. Wherever you go, it's hell. The Nibrans have known this all along. When they say they were kicked out of heaven, they're going by mind sight as well. They're going by long memory. They think they started in heaven and it belongs to them. All the reptilians believe this. There was no heavens. The computers open with heavens, they do. But after all this time, what heavens are left under a hell program? They all got clarted up by Gay, and the thing he used most often to clark them up was reptiles, who shouldn't exist. It's a coffin of a human of some sort. So it's just crackers. The wrong ones have risen all the time. This is what Gay did. I've now beaten Gay, and I've got to get to the sphere and change the programming. Well, I can't do that unassisted. And what's happened is that Herbert has spotted me coming and has basically tried to subsume me. Now, he's succeeded everywhere he goes because he can come up from the inside of your mind. So he's in the Deadlands. He's like semi-spirit. He's going to be difficult to dislodge, but what we can do is reprogram him. If he's not being threatened, if he's just being shown he's another way to do things, he might try it. He might come to his senses. He might realise he's a computer entity, same as we all are. And if I'm a computer entity and he's a computer entity and you're a computer entity, well, it's all one and the same computer entity. It's the sphere, or otherwise known as the brain. That is me, and I've got several stations, it's not just that one. So I don't know who's going around damning these people, but they all seem to think it's me. And that's why the Crocs have always attacked me all my life, and the Khazars before them. So it's because I go online and warn the world that the Khazars are out of control and murdering everybody. That's what I'm doing, so that's what they don't like. But I haven't damned what I started out to. I figured it out. Gay damns whole groups of people. Of course, he was legitimate. He was the devil, and who he damned were the good. That's what he's done. He damned Father Zebras. He damned the good. He damned the eagles. Anybody good, they're damned. Called the gay, right? I'm sending that into sharp reverse because I'm beaten gay. Only the good God can really damn the evil. Just say, well, you've gone too far, you can never repay it. Into the pit with you and round you go for a second time. Not being cruel, not being monstrous, but they got to be hived off and quarantined. Because the evil in them is so spiteful, it's dangerous, and their beliefs, because they pass it on to the children and brainwash people, is contagious. So think of it like a quarantine hospital. It's a jail. They're not dead. They haven't been tortured. No one's harmed them. They're getting the result of their own damn karma, which goes back a long way. But who's doing it? Because I haven't. And I looked at my husband, and that man ruined my life for 15 years. He was totally mean, a complete and utter drunk, a really stupid, ignorant imbecile, and he's evil. He's a nasty piece of work. Now, he knew my body, of course he did. We didn't know any better, did we? We just got married, two friends, set up shop and tried to make a go of it. And I've wanted to damn him ever since for the things he was doing. He was trying to kill me. He broke my mind with his incessant nagging. He stole all my money. Any money I got was his money. That was his attitude right from the start. He was a very, very poor, ignorant man. I should never have married him, and as soon as I understood he was a stupid drunk, I should have left him on the spot. Instead, I allowed him to dominate me to the extent where my mind broke several times. What with all this remembering lives and everything, it was difficult to cope with all that. And he got hold of my daughter and he terrified her about me. Because I was in hospital, I couldn't stop him. And he told her I was dangerous and insane and she was never to trust me. This is her father talking about her mother to a little girl, I think she was 4. When she finally found her mum in hospital, Mum didn't recognise her. I thought she was some other little child. I'd forgotten I had a daughter. I thought my daughter was dead. So this is what the Jews were doing to me. Because if you look at the Stevenses, they're all a kind of Jew. If you look at the Van Cassels, they're all a kind of Jew. I'm the only one who isn't. So I'm the odd man out. I've always been the odd man out. And here we come up with these strange doings at Bilderberg's when these Khazars, quite young, 2 males and 3 females, one male told me he was Alex Jones's son. So I looked at him and I said to him, good God, what happened? Because I could see right from there that he'd been damned. He'd got that decayed, holy, brown, fly-ridden look, you know, it's what they're like. And I investigated one and he spitefully used me, and so I said to him, you've been justly damned, and I walked away. One girl wanted to talk to me. This thing kept interrupting, and I warned her, don't go off with her, because she'll try and pump your compassion, and what she's doing is she's trying to get you damned as well. And the lady looked at me and said, what do you mean she's damned? I said, she's been damned. Can't you tell they're all been damned? And she said, well, then she needs more help than anybody. And I said, no, she doesn't. She needs to be kicked up the arse into jail. That's why she's been damned. And all she'll do is she'll ruin you and spoil all your chances of helping the people who should be helped, who are the people who are still trying to care. And she didn't listen to me. So it's another conversation that was stopped short by the damned. I don't know who's damned my husband, because I didn't. In the end, I was merciful. I thought to myself, I needed him as much as he needed me. You know, I chose to marry him as well. It was me that held out for marriage, not him. He was perfectly happy living in sin, as he would be, the devil. So I've forgiven him. I've let him go. He's just a dirty, filthy, nasty little man. And yet I look at pictures of him and I can see he's damned. I'm not damning him. I haven't damned him. And I look at pictures of my sister. My sister abandoned my mother when she was dying. I carried my mother on my back up my stairs to get her away from the bullies. She was dying and I knew it. I had a huge soft clot in my heart. I could have died at any second. I carried her on my back up and down the stairs. I toileted my own mother. I was the only one who could get her to feed. She ate, she got better. But she couldn't stand the way I lay around smoking and sleeping, which is what I do at home. I work, I come home and I sleep, and then I get up in the middle of the night and do whatever. That's the pattern I've had for years. It's not going to change because of her. She couldn't understand it. She knew I was a nurse. And people think that nurses can just keep going 24 hours a day forever. No, we collapse when we get home. We sleep. We have to. So I've learnt this from years of night duty. When you go home, you sleep, and then you get up and look after things. She couldn't. She was too desperate. So in the end, she requested me to take her back to the hospital, which I did, also on my back. And we got to the taxi, and I managed to get her in the cab, and the ambulance came and took her off in that instead. She was dead within a couple of weeks. She just literally starved to death. She couldn't swallow. She was continually choking on her own spit. It was a nightmare to watch. Now, she chose evil, and I condemned her for that, because the mind control stopped. She let go. On the last day of her life, she chose evil as well. She was the wicked witch. She put me through years of hell, not just from what Gay was doing in Zarnazi Peter, which she has to have been there for at least some of that, but for years and years and years she had kept on this you must be the obedient daughter mind control thing. I was in my 50s. Why was I obeying her? So this was the sort of thing that went on in the family. And I now know the woman was damned on the bloody spot. Now, I did damn her. Yes, I did. I was fucking her right. I was annoyed. But I can look at pictures of my sister. Who has damned my sister? Because somebody has. If you look at my sister, she took all the money, never let on to me that she was doing this, that she was twisting my mother's arm behind her back and getting all her money off her, which she knew she existed because for the last 10 years of Mum's life, Jackie did her banking for her. So Jackie knew how much money Mum had. I didn't. I never knew. Jackie stole the money from the Sleaford house sale. Jackie got most of the money from the Lissier Street house sale. Jackie knows how to suck money out of people. She's a menace for it. She's greedy. And she's mean. And you've got this combination of greed and mean in my sister. And I've always hated it because I knew that she'd stolen the money from my brother and then blamed me. I never got a penny. And this was my mum giving everything, even at that date, this is years back. Jackie can sort it out. Oh, Jackie's trustworthy. Jackie will divvy up the money between them fairly. Jackie took it all. So Jackie's always been a thief. She's always been a liar. She blames me for a rotten childhood. She didn't have a rotten childhood. The rotten childhood was mine. I had the rotten childhood. In comparison to me, she was doing just fine and dandy. She sucked Satan's teat and was Satanist before she was 3. He never bothered her again. He wouldn't talk to her or look at her or anything because she was done. Same with Robin. Robin, he ill-treated in various ways, and then Robin sucked the Satan's teat and he was done. He never really talked to Robin again except to threaten him. He liked getting a rise out of the kid. Who did he train them to blame? Yours truly. So Robin died and was damned because Robin chose hatred. Hatred. His hatred was pure. His hatred was great. He knew that evil was the right answer. Who do you hate? Her, said Gay, and he did. But he cut off his own salvation, for Christ's sake. If I'm good and I'm God, and they all knew that I was, why did they think I wouldn't win? Because I have. Which is instant damnation for all those who most opposed me, tried to sully me, and have made me desperately ill and kept trying to kill me and everything. So he got damned. But I've never damned my bloody sister. I've just watched her and she's walking further and further into damnation because that's what she's done. She abandoned my mother, and she knew at the same time as I did that the Negro nurse had murdered my mother. My mother didn't die of her illness. She died of being tortured to death by a Negro woman. The one thing she was most frightened of is what she got. So, is evil the right answer? No, it's not. Well, not when I'm around. So, why is Jackie damned? I haven't damned her. So, and I can see that she is. If you look at her, she's got a sour mouth. She's got old all of a sudden. She took thousands and thousands of pounds off my money. I earned that money as a nipper. And she blew it on holidays abroad, basically. It's all gone on these stupid long holidays in Turkey and Greece and Corfu and Crete, all that area. She loves it there. She goes there for 3 weeks at a time, twice a year, every year. And she spends money. She does. She likes to spend on clothes and high heels and all that. You know, she likes to live it up. Fine. But that was my money. And that's what she can't admit. She doesn't even know that it was my money. But all the money that the peasants had, I'd earned it. They cheated it out of me. The party trick was killing me at parties and watching me come back to life. You can imagine how they killed me. And they did all the forbidden things, and because they knew perfectly well that I was God. They knew. My own mother knew that. That's what they did. They did some sort of weird ceremony. They got me. So the whole thing is sick and insane. And who has damned my sister? Because I didn't. I've forgiven her. I've just let her go. She is a gay. She doesn't know this. My sister believes firmly on her surface mind that she is an atheist and that Gay was a monster and that Mum was a saint and that I'm rubbish. That's what she believes in her surface mind. She thinks it's all ended and she's won. She got all the money. Well, she's damned. And I did not damn her. Somebody up ahead who's perfect, you've got to be perfectly good to do this, is damning all the people that, in my heart of hearts, to be honest, I think should be damned. But I've been trying to forgive them. My husband, my sister. I haven't damned them. Who's doing this damning? Because they're damned. Those Kaisers at Bilderbergers were damned. They couldn't have been more than 19. But someone is so perfect, so good, they're going around and they're damning the right people for the right things, for the right kind of sentence. They can do this. Well, I'm far from being this person. I know I'm going to be, but I'm not there yet. And what they're doing is they're coming back in time and they're showing me themselves and trying to get me to contradict myself in time. Because there's only so much of that you can do before I clue in as to what it is you're up to. This is the Jews for you. They're very cunning, devious, nasty people. They're damned for a reason. It's the sort of thing they do. This whole thing is what's called a timeline genocide. And they're all running up and down time trying to tell us what's coming and all this. Why? do they all keep taking it out on me? They won't listen to me, they won't. David Icke has done exactly the wrong thing. Right from the start, he's told them the truth about the reptilians, he's told them the truth about the Arkans, the Royals, the Rothschilds, he's made it all perfectly clear. He's a wonderful man, he's wonderful. I've met him, I've shook his hand. I didn't know he had arthritis. I caused him a shock of pain. But he was very good about it. He never gave any sign. He just stiffened with pain. And I realised what I'd done, and I just let his hand go as gently as I could. And I said, "Oh, I'm a great admirer of yours, David, and I've watched all your shows, and I'm trying to get to watch you in Wembley." And he said something about, "Oh yeah, keep up the good fight and all that." And off he went. Well, that's what I wanted to do, just say hello to him. And he knew me. He absolutely knew me on sight. And who else knew me? Alex Jones knew me. He tried to avoid me by going round the back way. I just stayed where I was and he walked straight into me. He knew me. He knew it was inevitable. He gave in. He met me, shook my hand, gave me the eyeball, and I could see that he had green eyes and they were very shifty. He didn't want to meet me. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to shake my hand. His handshake was weak and flabby. He's quite a fat man. He's not... he gives out he's desperately tough, and I'm sure he does use his fist, but I don't know. I mean, you couldn't punch him. He's so fat, his fist would disappear, slow down and melt. He's just a huge man. He's very big. And he's flabby as anything. He'd have to fight with a gun because otherwise all he can do is roll on you. Put you out that way. So why did these men know me? David Icke is part of the truth vibration. Yes, he is. He's genuine. He's 100% real. Why won't he talk to me? He's told the people to do exactly and precisely the wrong thing. He's taken this Jesus Christ, love, tolerance, peace and kindness and all that shit to the last little bit. And he's told them all, do not arm up and fight. Just say no. Like that's going to stop a tank. Just say no. Like that's going to persuade two policemen beating the crap out of you to stop, is it? He has never really tangled with a croc. Crocs are not funny, and they can rule your mind from outside. They can see into your mind. And they fiddle with your works, and you believe this and you believe that. Next thing you know, you've given them your passport and so forth. And they've told you they're putting it in a safety box, and what they've done is they've stolen it. And they'll sell it to their Negro friends. And you will get into trouble, and they won't, because you can't prove a bloody thing. They didn't give you a receipt. That's what one of them's done to me recently. She was a Negro. She's also a croc. The crocs can appear as any race. But the race they favour is the Khazar race. And yes, if we could all spot a Jew nowadays, suddenly we could all see the buggers, well then that's right, they're a race. They've turned from a tribe into a race. They've done it. And they're actually Turkish Mongol Negro creatures. They're not. They're Mongols, hybrids, whatever you want to call them. They're not pure blood. So anyway, that's them. Who's going around doing this? Laura Eisenhower, another truther. She avoids me. She won't talk to me. She wants Eisenhower to go to heaven. She wants all mankind to go to heaven. Really. She's never seen heaven. She's got no idea of the damage that's been done over the centuries. She doesn't know the spiritual history. She gets all this alchemy out of books. When did she have all the time in the world to read all these books on alchemy? How come it's all astral theology alchemy? Stuff we don't know normally. See? They've been time travelling. Spending a couple of years doing theology in the future. And they come back and this is the fruits of their labour. They don't look as if they've aged. They're coming back to within a few days of when they left. That's how they're doing all this. That's how they're writing all these books perfectly proofread and publishing them at the rate that Icke does. Yet he's here, there, and everywhere on all these shows and going round and round the world like a mad thing. He simply doesn't have time to write all these books. So he's got it as well. He's got time travel. He's going up to the future or possibly back to the past. And he's booking a hotel and he's typing away for about 5 years per book. And then he's coming back to within a few days of when he left. That's what they're all doing. Now that's cheating. That is cheating on a big scale. But he's the truth vibration as far as I know. I mean, I can't draw huge crowds at Wembley. Who's going to listen to me? But he couldn't and wouldn't exist if I hadn't won the battle of good and evil and said so on the web. Blown the alarm bells about white genocide, told them all that the Jews were out of line and were killing everyone. Moaned about the US military being riddled by Satanists. What's a Satanist? A Satanist is a Gentile Jew. A Christian Zionist is a Gentile Jew, or they're trying to be. The Jews will never accept them, they're far too racist. Jewry itself, Judaism itself, is pure racism. They've made a god out of themselves. They're disgusting. And anyone who falls in line with that is an idiot. They're committing genocides all over the world and always have done. And David Icke tells people to just say no and military stuff won't work. The militaries themselves are in absolute panic and shambles because they can't fight this. They can't fight the truth leaking out everywhere. They all know that cases have done all this. They'll know perfectly well they're going to die. Who do you think they want to win? Do you think they want the bloody Jews to win, you stupid sod? They won't oppose us, they'll help us. They need us to form into a citizen militia and take these dirty, filthy politicians and royals and all the rest of the rotten filth. You've got to take them out of business. That's the only way to do it, is a revolution. And as far as I know, revolutions come with fists and boots and cudgels at the very least. So David Icke tells people not to do that, and he's absolutely sentenced them to death. Because all the blacks and the Islamics and the Khazars are all arming up, learning how to fight, learning how to kill. They kill our kids. And that's just the starters. The white genocide is on us. Look around you, there's hardly any white kids left. And of white kids, they're mostly females. Where are all the males? There should be thousands of young men in this area. There's about 4. Come on. So the whites aren't arming up because David Icke, for a start, keeps talking about peace and love. Peace and love has not saved a single Christian. And when they get out there, the Palladians have helped me to see that God is evil. Of course he is an evil spirit, he's an evil AI. He's been programmed that way by Gay. Let's deprogram him. Let's do that first. And if you realise that, if you understand that, and this is what all the truthers are saying, I'm saying it as well, then the Jesus Christ love, compassion and kindness message was lies. It's suitable behaviour in a world that's going up. It's not suitable world behaviour when God is the devil, for goodness sake. Ike's told them to line up and bare their throats and wait for the Negroes to cut them. Because that's who's going to die. David Icke has failed to notice that all his audience are always white. White people are thirsty for the truth. White people are eager and anxious to rise. We've all listened to the history lessons. We've all seen the ruins. We can see it's correct. And we know the Nibrans are liars, including Yahshua. We absolutely know they've lied to us. They treat us with contempt as food slaves. And they'll do the same in hell. And if that was heaven, then heaven and hell are in the same place. Of course it's satanic. So the right answer in any genocide is to arm up and get organised and start taking out the enemy. which isn't the blacks. The blacks can just fuck off back to Africa where they came from. We'll get round to them. It's the Khazars. They're the problem. Somebody's damning these people. Laura Eisenhower, her voice is tinnier and tinnier, higher and higher. She's more and more frantic to get her views across. She wants Eisenhower to go to heaven. I sent Eisenhower to hell. I have done him. And Churchill. And Stalin. I don't put up with that shit in my house. Enough. He betrayed all those Americans into the hands of these fucking aliens. He knew perfectly well what the aliens would do to them. Aliens are aliens. They're all nightmares. Apparently the effect of an alien up close is one of horror and dread and disgust. He knew perfectly well they were demons. Of course he did. He's a bloody Khazar. They're all in on this crap. And so is she. She comes out with all this peace and love and understanding stuff. She must know it won't work. So all men can't go to heaven. Khazars aren't going to heaven. With kid killing on their consciences, with this idea they've got a revenge jury for the temple. What the hell are they talking about? It wasn't a temple. That was the whole problem with it. Even folks like Yashua broke it up. It was a bank. It was the first bank in the world, according to them. What was half of Jehovah's laws are about usury. He's telling them not to do it. He's telling them amongst themselves, let go your slaves every 7 years and forgive all debts. And amongst themselves, the Jews do this. They keep that law. But they won't keep it at all for the Gentiles. For a Jew, there's no interest on any loan. For a Gentile, it runs at 80%. 80% per annum. No one can pay a debt that does that. So, the Khazars are the enemy of mankind. They think they're the only true men because they are properly evil. I, the good God, have won. Who's lifting me up is the devil god Herbert, because I said yes. But if he'd have bothered to hear it out, he'd have realised I was actually saying no thanks. But he just takes the first word you say and damns you or saves you on the basis of that. So I'm saved, according to him. I'm rising, as I said. There's enough evil in right brain to please him. Don't worry about that. They'll get on like a house on fire. I'll get on with Aya. Why would I hate Aya? I don't hate Aya. He does what he does. He is what he is. He's offended himself more than me. He says his heart is heavy because of all his sins against nature. He knows perfectly well he's sinned against nature. Well, hello, I'm nature. I built all this one way or another. So, I don't hate him. Everyone wants me to hate Satan. My first name, when I first was switched on in my own damn coffin, as it were, I said to Gay, what's my name? And Gay said to me, Satan. And I said to him, oh, that's a nice name. It is, it's a very nice name. Father Seabreeze fell in love with it. That's his name too. Marvellous, isn't it? So I'm not going to hate him because of his name. In what's the language? Hebrew? Ugly language. Black magic. It's all teeth. Look at it. Basically, it means enemy or adversary. But it's in the sense of a court of law. He's the advocate of the evil side. Right? But in the Sanskrit, the same word, Satan, is truth. It's another version of the word truth. Again, it's got a legal, lawful, court connotation. It's not truth as in absolute, it's truth as in found, as chipped out and discovered by the discoverer. So, in that sense, it means those things. It doesn't mean the devil as such. It's what everyone makes the same mistake. It really gets on your nerves. Who teaches you that mistake? Well, the Khazars do. The Khazars do. They do everything. They're really, really bad people. No good saying it's just Rothschild Tsar Nazis. All the Jews are Tsar Nazis. There's only a few Jews who've come forward to warn us. Joseph Bajertnes, who must be praised to the skies, must be lauded because he's a very moral man to do it. Karen Hughes, who's also rude to me. I mean, she does reply to me, but she thinks I'm a sock puppet. Well, I don't know what is a sock puppet, but whatever it is, she's that. I'm not. So I don't like her. I mean, I've tried to like her. I think she's very brave. I think she's done a sterling job for us. I also think she overrates herself terribly and she's an awful snob. She thinks I'm a sock puppet. I don't know what that is. So she's always rude to me. She's mastered the art of the Khazar put down perfectly. Then there was that bloke in the... Was his name Frederick Schielman? He warned people, and the speeches were recorded. I've listened to both of those. He did a sterling job. Now, that's a brave man. To go against your own race and tribe and give the world the warning that it needs to hear is very brave. So they've made it. Where's all the rest? They never admit what they are. They're all murderers from a very early age. So are the Negroes and so are the Islamics. Everything from Abraham is bad. It is bad. It is not good. It is bad. And Lil fashioned a weapon to keep on murdering humans because the other one, thingy, what's his name, Aya, sells the loosh for gold. So Aya's big problem is he's got a thing about gold. He'll tell lies. He'd sell his mother, probably has, for gold. He will do literally anything to get gold. Forget about Nibru's bloody hole in the atmosphere, or they're old cobblers. What it is, he loves gold. He's got a curse on him from Aurora, who he murdered to begin with, who taught the way to get there, Soft did, naturally. Murdered the creator god, and of course she cursed him with a lust for gold. All this misery has come about because of Aya's literal obsession for gold. He invents anything and everything that might earn him a bit more gold, and that's all he cares about. I mean, Nibru must be unable to fly straight. It's got so much gold on it. Gold and robots, and it must be like a arcade. Arcadia, as in the Brighton Pier variety. And they want to bring that here, and they don't want us to enjoy any of it. We might get some of the gold. So like every mean cunt in creation, he's killing us all off so he can keep all the gold. And that's what he is all about. And Lil, the brother, likes to think he's righteous, fashioned the Khazarians, knowing perfectly well they weren't the real Hebrews. The Hebrews are the white race, the ones they keep killing. But he's perfectly okay with that. They're in because they're evil. So he is evil too, then, isn't he? He is the devil with his angels. He's as evil as all get out. He wouldn't have done it. So, no, not all men can go to heaven. You get a good God in charge, and the first thing that happens is that evil will be damned as beyond redemption. You can't do anything with them. Just stick them in jail and leave them to rot until eventually they get the message and change it of their own accord. That's what's going to happen to these young damned Khazars, and nothing worse than that. The only thing that they're going to have to look out for is their own evil behaviours to each other, which they deserve. They are all like that. We're all going to be cooped up together. They think they're going to own the pit. It's run by devils. Well, they've got to earn their time out too, and we don't want them around, these bloody stupid crocks, filthy, dirty, disgusting things. They're going with them. They'll be the jailers. Everyone's got to be in charge of something. So somebody up ahead is doing the things that I should be doing now, but I can't. I have no support. All the truthers, including Laura Eisenhower, refuse to talk to me. They won't communicate. They'll answer other people. They won't even refer to me, and she's one of them. And the other one is Is his name Andrew Lambermont Webber? Look, he's a roaring Kaiser, and he's absolute roaring queer. That's what he is. It's not fine by me. Queers do not belong in heaven. Queeriness is something you acquire on earth, you indulge in, and it's a perversion. It's not the best thing, it's not the nicest thing, it's disgusting. Somebody's got to say so. That someone is me. It's no good him getting the ump and refusing to speak to me because of that, because of this film that I'm making now. This is what they've done, which is so unfair. They've gone up to the future, watched this, watched that, and come back and taken it out on me now, trying to nobble me. I mean, who else is there? There's Shane the Ruiner. That guy hates my guts. He hates my guts. He doesn't hate Mama Cassandra, who wrote him a letter showing us what the dirty, filthy nibberants think of us. Have I said any of those things to him? No. He kept her letter for years. Thomas Williams read the letter out to us. I'll put it on my blog. That basically they're indifferent to us. They think we're beneath contempt and they're very glad we should be hurt. It makes money for them, etc., and so forth. He doesn't hate her. Oh no, that's his mother. Every word that Shane the Ruiner says, he says things like she should be tortured forever. Who's he talking about? I think he's talking about me. I don't know what he's talking about. I can't do what they do. I can't go into the future. I can't steal the future and just say, we're not going to have this one, we're going to have that one. I can't do that. I have to live what they dish out, same as the rest of them. If I've done what I've done, then no, they're not going to get their own way. Why would they? They're evil. They're doing things they know to be wrong. They're picking on someone who's completely innocent and gradually forcing me to say the things I say. I'm not having perverts in heaven. I refuse. Dirty, filthy, nasty thing to do. A pervert is a pervert. It belongs elsewhere. And so on, you know, they want to take their perversions with them to heaven. Basically, this has always been man's problem. He wants heaven and hell at the same time. And the devil god, Herbert, has complied. You'd be amazed who goes to heaven, hell, heaven. Everyone. We are there tortured, mentally, all that, by crocs, the same as here. The crocs are the devils. Hell is beneath us. Well, where do you suppose heaven is? In the clouds? Even the astrals eventually fall, you know. They all come here. So these are the truthers who should be on my side, and they're all trying to harm me. Laura Eisenhower's been doing far too much time travelling. That's why her voice is so tinny and high. Why she's always so frantic. She's got the most shocking mania I've ever seen, and still stay sane. She's very close to complete and utter despair and collapse, because she knows she's on the wrong fucking team. She should have been on my side from the start. She should never have ignored me. And yet that's what she's consistently done. Who's telling these bastard truthers to do this to me? Because they're all obeying orders like a little tiny army. We're all supposed to be on the same team, fighting for freedom and helping the white race survive. I don't think they are. Why they keep picking on me, I just don't know. I'm ashamed of Brian Gerrish, turning around the motorway rather than meet me, so he knew who I was as well. This is back in 2013. The whole thing's a reception committee designed to give me enough information to keep me going, but at the same time exclude me. Exclude me from my own age, you stupid fucking bastards. You don't do that. So I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to that meeting on the 27th and I'm going to be loud. Brian Gerrish can at last meet me, and he can explain to me why, in words of one syllable, he keeps taking various people to court when he knows the courts are fucked. The law's been totally fucked up from start to bloody finish. It's useless. If he even gets court time, he's treated with hostility and he still doesn't get the bloody message. It's time to arm up and form a citizen militia. His area, Plymouth, has been scheduled for extermination. He must know this. There he sits in Plymouth giving out broadsheets, arranging things. Talk, talk, talk. We all fucking talk. It's dead easy to talk, isn't it? So he's another one who's got some explaining to do. I'm telling people I'm the only one on my page what they've all got to do. They've got to arm up with whatever they can and get in touch with each other, particularly all the white males. Not the Khazars. The Khazars are invariably the enemy. If you spot a Khazar in your meeting, throw him out. Just throw him out. He's a spy. All these blokes running around wanting to get up each other's jackses. Well, they're letting in a demon every time they do it. All what gay was, they do, and they expect me to be pleased with it. I don't know what's going to happen either, but I do know that me, up the future, presumably as an astral, because I'm dying already, is basically going to meet up with somebody important and we're going to go around putting it right. He knows how, and I'm the reason why. I can do this. I can damn who I want because I'm good. I just can't show it in the physical. It's my coffin. I've every right to do it. Who can't stand up against me is a bloody computer who's invented to serve me. Stupid bloody bastard thing on him. So if you look at Webber, he can talk perfectly well when he wants to. So all that stuttering is just a passive-aggressive act. And I'm sick of hearing about him now and his best friend and all the rest of it. Why won't he talk to me? Because I say this. I say that perverts will be damned. They probably will be. You can become so perverted that you're just sickening to even look at. Love your best friend, go to bed with your best friend, that is one thing. I can forgive that. But that's not what queers do. It never has been what queers do. We all know what queers do with little boys, don't we? So I'm getting fucking annoyed with these other truthers keep picking on me and leaving me out and making out that I'm wrong about everything and they're all right. No, they're not all right. They're doing everything all wrong because they haven't been honest even with themselves.